back, okay? And the reason it's so funny how the universe works, okay? So funny. So, first off, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal night, day, depending on where you are, okay? Do understand and get your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. And so I had to pull out a oldie but goodie, okay? The Four Agreements. I did a video not too long ago talking about don't take anything personal. I didn't really record if it was the Four Agreements or if it was the Mastery of Love, but of course it's the Four Agreements, okay? And as I was in about to get in the shower, I had heard like this voice, like my mother voice, right? As I was about to get in the shower, like that popped up. And I remember she used to say this to me. She would say, Dina, people are entitled to have their own opinion, okay? And for some reason that popped up to let me know, like, people they entitled to disagree with you. And so when things pop up in my life, I question it, right? Like where is this stemming from? Okay, why I feel whatever it is I feel, right? And so, as I was in the shower, getting in the shower, one of the things I thought about, well, prior to that, I was thinking about the book, right? And I said, oh my goodness, let me do a video on this, okay? The Four Agreements. So, this book is a phenomenal read, okay? The Four Agreements by Don Miguel. And one of the things that he, like, if you are, first of all, I want to say, like, all his books, well, I have two of his books, and so far, those two books are really, really good. The second book is Mastery of Love. I have done videos on Mastery of Love because, if you're a person that want to start healing yourself and start seeing things from a different perspective, whether it's your upbringing or whatever it is like that, that book is a phenomenal read. Okay. But tapping into the Four Agreements, okay. One of the things it says, and this is like chapter 3, one of the things it says is, and I'm so grateful for this job. You ever did like was rocking out. I like to say rocking out to my passion, to my purpose, and it always leads me back to looking at myself. Like it. I'm so grateful for being able to do this and making videos and making content because whatever shows up, right, is for me to look at and see what's going on within myself, right? And that's the beauty of it. Doing the work on myself. That's like the most beautiful thing because and I say that I say your purpose, okay, is going to lead you back to your true self, your real self. So everything that you tend to do is is like I look at myself, right? And I'm grateful for the guy G. Okay, I'm really grateful for him. Okay, because he gave me the reason to make another video, and so just before I get into the book, I want to give a shout out to the universe. Like I really want to give a shout out to the universe. Okay, for putting me on this path, for taking a look at myself, for also getting me back to my true self, okay, and for allowing me to be of inspiration, like one time for the one time for the universe, okay, one time for the one time, okay. And so I'm gonna get into this, and is I highly recommend. It's so funny because I said I was gonna read Psycho Cybernetics, and I tell you guys, like, I'm I jump from books to books. Okay. Um, I have a few books in my closet where as though I have the ability to jump from books to books, depending on whatever it is that's showing up in my life. And that's how some of my content is formed, okay, from me reading the books, from me doing the work on myself. And that's how my perception tends to change. Also, me meditating and things of that nature. So The Four Agreements, okay, by Don Miguel. All right, highly recommend. Okay, highly recommend. Okay. One of the things it says is, and this is the part, okay, don't take anything personal. The next three agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personal. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, hey, you are so stupid without you knowing, it's not about you, it's about me. Okay, so to the ones, to the ones out there, okay? All right. Let me see. Okay. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? Is he clairvoyant? Or can anybody see how stupid I am? You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you and you are trapped in a dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped and what we call personal importance. Personal importance or taking things personally is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. This is really good tonight. That everything is about me. During a period of our education or our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that I got a good story. I got a good story after this. Oh gosh. Um, when we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. So listen. Also, one of the things that I was thinking about, um, as I was in the shower, I was like, something came to me. If I want people to agree with me, I'm operating from ego, right? Is not from love, right? Like if I want somebody, if I'm like, oh well, you're supposed to agree with me or whatever it is, like that is like the book says, is me, is really ego. And the reason I said I got a good story because I remember. One second, let me put some shea butter on. One second. All right. So I remember when it says about assumption, right? I remember I was dating this older guy, right? And I remember he always used to tell me like he need me time, right? And I used to think, right? Like I used to say, well, you must be cheating because I never heard anybody talk about me time, right? Because the guys that I dated prior to that, they it was mainly like codependency, right? That was my sister calling. It was like mainly codependency. And they wouldn't be like available all the time, but they would never say that they needed me time. But they was cheating, okay? Because later on, come to find out they was cheating. But the older guy that I started dating, he will always tell me, and it's funny how like things just come together, right? Like how things that happened in the past, it makes so much sense. Like, as you get older and become wiser and things of that nature. So he was a truck driver, right? And he used to say like he needed me time, and I used to be like, you must be cheating, because I wasn't used to him anybody saying they needed me time. And no matter how many times I would say like, and I would, get upset and stuff like that, because I felt like he should always be there, right? Because I didn't know how to enjoy my own company. And so what wound up happening was, from him not being it, and I don't want to say, well, I started messing back with my children's father, well, my youngest son, my oldest son father. I don't want to, I don't want to say that that's why I did what I did, right? Because he said he needed me time and whatever, it was like that. But one of the things he used to say was, he used to say, because after he found out, like, oh, you start messing back, and at that time I didn't have no children, but he was like, oh, you was messing with, whatever. And I was like, yeah, because I thought you was cheating. But the truth of the matter is, I wanted to do that, okay? And yeah, insecure and things of that nature. But I remember him saying something when I was reading the book, and it said assumption. One of the things he used to say, he would say, don't make assumptions, because when you make assumptions, right, when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh, having an aha moment. But okay, the point of this video is, don't take nothing personal, because when people say stuff to you or say things about you, that has nothing to do with you. That's just their perception. Okay, that's one. And then two, people are entitled to their own opinion, because that's their own opinion. I can hear my mother saying, okay, yes. um, I can hear my mother saying now, because this is where the idea came from. And when I do content, I get these downloads, like I said. I could be on my way in the shower or whatever it is, and then an idea just pop in my mind. And as I was about to get in the shower, I just heard my mother say, Dina, people are entitled to their own opinion. And then from there, but prior to that, I thought about the books, The Four Agreement or The Mastery of Love. And I said, oh my goodness, let me make a video on this. Okay. So, yeah, whenever someone say, whatever it is that they say, it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It's all about someone else's perception. And the more, you start working on yourself, and start detaching yourself, from the titles, from the labels, or whatever it is. And I remember hearing Lisa Nichols say that. She said each and every morning she wake up and she would say, I have nothing to prove, I have nothing to defend, and I have nothing to protect. Right. And I think about that, because the truth of the matter is, the only perception that matters is yours. We could take somebody else's opinion, and what they perceive is what they perceive, but ultimately is what you perceive, is what your perception is, right? And so yeah, so I highly recommend this book. Okay, this, and like I said, The Mastery of Love. Two phenomenal reads. They so good. And I'm always guided, right? Like whatever it is that's showing up in my life, the universe is always on point to point me in a direction, or reflect to me like, all right, get this, because this what you need to work on, or this what you need to do, or whatever it is. And so that's why, like, I'm not the type, I just read one book straight through. Like, I book hop. So whatever it is that may show up, I have, like, I like to say, like, armor, so to speak. I have armor, whereas though I'm like, all right, I can tap into that book because I know, I can tap into the meditation because I know or whatever. Um, and that feels so good to understand that you're always protected, you are always guided, as long as you believe so. And it's an African proverb, and it goes, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside could do no harm. Okay. And so for the last time, okay, I see you guys tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get to reading the four agreements again, and most likely Psycho, Cybernetics, and then Prosperity Bible. So I catch you guys tomorrow. Have a phenomenal night. Believe in yourself, and do understand that everything is within, and if you seek, ye shall find. And with that being said, peace.